Hello Math 8s. Today what we're going to do is we're going to begin multiplying fractions. So the first thing we're going to do is probably tackle a little bit simpler situation in which we're multiplying a whole number by a fraction. So I've got an example here for you so you can see 4, there's our whole number, and the fraction is 5/6. So 4 times 5/6, how do we do this? And I want to show you two ways. So the first way I want to show you is using a diagram or a picture. Now diagrams and pictures work great if the numbers are kind of on the smaller side. If the numbers end up being kind of bigger, it becomes harder and harder to do. So let's just quick try this. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to try and model 5/6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we've got 5 of the 6. Now, when we multiply by 4, basically what we're saying is we've got 4 of these things. So we got 4 5/6. So I'm just drawing this out. And I think you can see this pretty clearly. I'm going to just draw in 5 for each of these. So the answer, once you've actually set up the diagram, I think you'll find the answer actually is fairly straightforward. You just count up all the circles that you've got. So 5, 10, 15, 20. So we have 20 circles, so 20 is in our numerator. And remember, the denominator is always what a whole is divided up into. So in this case, the whole is divided up into 6. So now a couple things that we could do. Okay, 26th is not in lowest terms. Okay, both of these things are even, so we know for sure we can divide by 2. So I'm going to divide both of these by 2 to begin putting it in lowest terms. So this becomes 10 over 3. So this would be an answer to the question in lowest terms, but it is an improper fraction. Sometimes it's nicer to actually put things in a mixed fraction. So I just want to recognize, so we've got 10 thirds. So one whole is 3 out of 3. So therefore you can see we would have 3 wholes, okay? Because if each one of these has 3, you can see if you've got 3, that would make 1 whole. If you've got 6, that would make 2 wholes. And you can see 9 would make 3 wholes. And then therefore, we've got 1 extra. So it would be 3 and then 1/3. So I would say probably writing it in the end as a mixed fraction is probably the best way to answer this question. So that's the first way. Second way, 4 times 5/6. Now this is what I always want us to do first. If we're just going to multiply the numbers, we're not going to draw a diagram. I want to show you just how you could do this using our second method, which is just basically using the numbers, the symbols in front of you to do this. Now the first thing I would always do is write our whole number as a fraction. So how do you write 4 as a fraction? And actually, it's fairly straightforward to write 4 as a fraction. You just write a whole number as 4 over 1. That is a whole number as a fraction. Just put it over 1. Once you do this, I think you'll find that this makes life fairly straightforward. And basically the rule for multiplying fractions is numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So let's do this. So numerator times numerator is 4 times 5, which gives me 20. The denominator, which is 1 and 6, so it's going to be 1 times 6, which is 6. And the numerator times numerator, the answer ends up in the numerator. And the denominator times denominator, the answer just ends up in the denominator. So you can see we end up getting the exact same answer we had before. We can divide both of these by 2 to reduce it down. It becomes 10 over 3. And then you can remember that this is 3 and a third. So I hope that gets you going on multiplying fractions. Have a good one.